Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoy Dad channel. It's been a while since we've done one of our monthly updates, so I thought as it's November, I'd give you a quick update. And finally, two things have happened. One, we've had rain, and two, it's got chillier. Not massively chilly, we still haven't switched the heating on at home, and today is November the 20th, which I think is a bit of a record. It's normally about this time that it gets flicked on. Anyway, in this field here, we got the two money pits. They're hiding over there. They are currently out at the minute. You may have heard me talk before about me having to put a camera down in the bottom corner, and it seems as if the camera being there might have been spotted, and whoever was jumping over and trying to take the blankets and the head collars off the horses has actually stopped it. But the rain's come in. We haven't got massive amounts of mud, but we've certainly got some. Now, after Christmas, they'll be going over to this, and look at that. That is now lush and green. There's a good amount of grass in there. I don't want to put them in there too soon, because if we put them in there too soon, all they do is they just eat all the grass, clear it all down, bosh, 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 all the way across, churn up all the mud, and we will just end up with a mud bath in there. And I don't want that. They can wait and go in there after Christmas, I think. What is going on there? We are now closer than we have ever been before. Something is happening next week. I can't tell you what, unfortunately, but it should be that about February, March sort of like time, there'll be like an update on the channel, and you might even see my face. I might just pop up and just like go, watch this weekend, because we got a big video coming up to tell you what's going on in here, because if it happens, it's going to be huge, with a capital huge. Right, so anyway, what's going on? Lavenders we put in this year, they were dinky tiny little things, but these guys are going away for winter. You can see where the leaves are blowing off the trees and just going all around them, and it needs a little bit of weeding doing. But these guys are going to be the feeder guys for ones that we're going to do ourselves. And as I've explained before, I'm hoping down the bottom there to get a couple of rows of lavender in, maybe 5, maybe 6, that sort of like thing. Have a few hundred plants, and then we'll be able to do lavender products and lavender things. And you can see if we come around here, the bees are actually still flying. It's a bit chilly for them just at the minute, but they are still flying. As soon as it warms up, they got a new bird bath. I got that from work. It was going to be chucked away, so I was like, I'll have that for my bees, because as you might know, bees like a little drink. All it needs is just some of the pea gravel to be put in there, just to hold them in. There's some just flying in there. See them? There we go. So it's chilly, but it's not chilly enough for the bees to be in their hibernation yet. They'll be there. And we got a line of gooseberry plants here. They're ready to go for the summer, for the spring this year, ready just to go straight up. Hopefully we'll be able to get loads of cuttings off of them. And plant nursery. So we got red currant, we got black currant, we got more lavenders. I've got about 100 lavenders at home. We got strawberry, more red currant and black currant, everything everywhere. But we've got all the gear that we're ready to go for next year to really get in with selling the plants. Might even do some planty typey videos. But we've also got more hedging plants, where I'd done the video and I showed you the hedging plants going in, the yews and the evergreen thingies, where they were going in. We've got more, so they've gone in as well to make it look really, really cool. Right, let's go down and have a look in the yard. Just before we get to the yard, this is probably the best place to show you, but we've still got loads of apples on the trees. We've had loads at home. We've had apple pies and crumbles and all of that sort of like thing, and now the birds are coming in and eating them. But we have had a minor issue with rats, where the rats have been in this area, and they've just stayed in this area basically, and they've been eating the apples. But now they've eaten most of the apples off the floor, or else I've got rid of most of the apples off the floor, they're now looking at other places. So there are various things like, see a box down there, that's got some not very nice stuff in it. And you can see just up here I've got a couple of fen traps. These are called FENN. They are absolutely the dog's danglies when it comes to traps for rats basically. And I can't show too much on YouTube unfortunately, because it then gives you strikes and it isn't very good. But these are fantastic. I set them up so you pull that bit down. See if I can do it one-handed. If you know fen traps, you'll know that doing it one-handed is not the best thing in the world to be doing. So you pull it down, as if by the magic of YouTube. There you go, you ready? You pull it down, ooh, and it lays flat like that on the ground. And you put this trigger bit underneath that bit there. So I've got the safety on at the minute so as it won't go. But you put that trigger bit underneath that little bit there, and that just lifts it up. And what I do with these is I tend to bury them slightly in the ground where I know the rats are running. So they go pew, 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 every single day. Bury these slightly in the ground. If it's in a place where I'm a little bit iffy, I might just leave it a day or two with the safety on, so as the rat goes pew, pew, over the top of it. But then you take the safety off, and the rat goes over it, touches on that, and it just springs up, goes pew, and that turns into that, so, and it catches it. And you very, very rarely get yourself a poor catch. And you very rarely get them activated without an actual catch in there. So yeah, they are absolutely fantastic. Now the B275, it's still sat here. You might notice, I have done in other videos, and I said, oh look, you can see the radiator and you can see the fan, and the radiator and the fan have gone because they're back on there. So the radiator and the fan is back on there. It's got a brand new water pump on it. I'm doing a video on it. It's all coming up. Everything was going wonderful and marvellous. I went to start the thing and the blooming injector pump isn't working again, is it? It is going up and downy, where we had to get in there and press it. It is doing that, but there's no fuel coming out the top of it, so it's like, ugh, what's going on there? What are we going to do? But anyway, that's my winter project, and flying through that. Sorry if I am speaking a little bit quicker than what I normally do speak on these sort of like things, but the GoPro's flashing up saying I've got 18 minutes worth of video recording left, and I've got no idea how long it's actually going to record for, and I don't know what I can wipe off there because I've got so much ongoing at the minute anyway. So anyway, the cover is working fantastically. You might notice I've got one lawnmower open and another lawnmower open. That's because I've just started, literally just started the engine swap that we're going to do. So we're going to take the engine off of that one, we're going to put it onto this one, and we're going to take lots of other bits off of that one because the bodywork on it is shot. It's no good, so we're going to take lots of bits off of it, put it onto this one, and get this one here going. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we are currently out the back in the secret garden. I'll go around and I'll show you. Have a look. It's currently empty, and I am contemplating what to do with these apple trees. Now the trees may look old and historic and all of that sort of stuff, but they're not. They're only about 20 years old or something like that. And I know that because I can look through Google Earth and I can scroll backwards through and have a look see. So I'm contemplating that maybe with what's going on in the top field, if that comes through, I might just actually clear this area and do something else in this area. Same goes for these four here. They're not at all productive, and all that they really do is provide a little bit of screening between us and the holiday cottages that you can just see over there. So what I'm thinking is I might just take down all of these trees and then just plant like an evergreen hedge in there. So as that gives us that little bit more of a gap between us and the holiday park. They can stay over there. So yeah, everything is in and covered up. You see on the end here, in the video, did I release the video where I've done about the tops? I think I did. I know there was one that I'd done and it was rubbish, so I didn't release it. But you can see I've put this green scaffolding netting at the end of it. You can pick that up in like Screwfix or Toolstation or any of those sort of places, and it's brilliant. The reason why it's there is it doesn't stop the wind, obviously, because the wind can just go straight through the holes there. But what it stops is when you get those nasty storms, which we've had a few of, and they roll in over there. I keep saying it. Over there's the English Channel. It rolls in. You get big wind, big rain, and it pushes it straight through there. You put this in, and it actually catches a lot of that rain, so it just drips down, and they don't get as wet as what they normally would do. But the other issue we've got is that the rain is actually coming along this. It's dripping off on the other side, dripping down, and then it's rolling through. So yeah, that's those guys all in there. Those guys are all inside. And if we come round here, you will see it's actually a bit weird because the geese and the ducks are all inside as well. And it just feels so strange and empty. There being absolutely nothing here. So let me open the gate. There we go, gate is open. Yeah, it just seems weird because they're in, and because I'm out here now, they've gone in and they're hiding. It's all empty. But I do have a plan over the course of the winter. What I'm going to do is running around. I've spoken about it before. We've got this extra enclosure that just keeps them away from the horses. So the horses are on the other side of it. I don't know if you can make out the horses. There's one just about there, and there's one over there somewhere. So what I want to do is I want to increase the goose area. I'll probably leave this fence up just for the time being, but I want to get a proper fence in there rather than the electric poultry stuff, which is all right, but I know the foxes can get through it, and you can see how it's fallen down in the wind, and yeah, it's just not the greatest of things. So I want to do a proper fence through there whilst the birds are locked up. I have also been through and I have picked up a lot of the fallen branches and the sticks and the twigs. You'll see that the ponds have gone, they're over there upturned, so trying not to attract in the wild birds. And yeah, it's not the best of times, and we're now what, 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's already dusk, or is it twilight? I don't quite know. So yeah, lots going on, lots happening still, lots that we're still waiting to happen, and it's all just a case of hanging on and seeing what happens. But fingers crossed, next year is going to be absolutely fantastic, because we should have at least 2 tractors going, at least. Fingers crossed we'll get the MF35 going as well, which is this one here. I want to get that one going, because that one there should go, because the mechanics on that one are easier than the mechanics on that one, if that makes sense. But yeah, that one there should get going without too much of an issue, and we'll get that one going. And we're just basically getting ready now to trim back the hedges, because it's that time of year again where you can start trimming back your hedges. I've already done down here, but when we do it, we're going to be taking various cuttings and various other bits and pieces off of them to try to propagate even more and go from there and see what we can do. So yes, that is it. That is November update. If you have any questions, let us know. Leave them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer. I may not answer instantly, but I do answer eventually. If you're wondering, you would have heard me just walk across this. This is just basically old plates and mugs and cups and plant pots and other ceramic rubbish. And we put that down and we use that as a path. Now that works fantastically because it keeps away the mud and other bits and pieces, but it also works, as we have proved where we've caught intruders on cameras and that. They absolutely hate the noise of it because it generates noise, and when you generate noise up here, you generate noise within the geese, and the geese then start going. And if you're an intruder, the last thing you want is noise, and with all of this noise going off, they tend to run away very, very quickly. So, and oh, one last thing I was going to show you, I forgot, because I'm racing through it to try to get through before the camera goes flat. Right, so let's go here into the darkness. I believe in a thing called love. And I get asked all the time, what's it like being off-grid and using solar? So this is the energizer for the farm, and you can see the light on the left, that means it's got power to it, and the one on the right, that means it's got a good return to it, so it's kicking out over 10,000 volts, which is more than enough. If the light on the left is flashing 4 times quickly, that means it's got low power. Every morning I come in now and it is flashing 4 times quickly low power. You can see down that one there, hopefully, it says 12.8, 12.7. That is the charge controller that's coming off of the solar panels. When I come in over the morning, it's down to about 10. The solar panels work fantastically, even though we're only powering the Energizer for about 9 months of the year. November, December and January, because the days are so much shorter, it really, really struggles. And if I wanted to do anything else on there other than just the Energizer, then I would have to invest in some sort of a proper generator in there just to power it up and just to keep it going, basically, and keep things ticking over as you like. So anyway, that is now the end of the video, because my GoPro's going, you've got no time left. And I will say thank you ever so much for watching, and until the next time, bye bye.